What's up, Corey?
Yeah, what's up, Kurtis? I'm good, bro. How are you?
Not too bad, man.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
this is episode 4 of Chats with Corey and Kurtis.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We would like to mention early on where this one isn't live.
As you may know.
It's Tuesday the 6th or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, just with that, I always just breaking everything already.
Sure.
The word six, and when you try and say sixth, I always have trouble saying the word sixth.
Yeah.
Do you
sixth. Yeah, it's I think X is hard to say on its own. Yeah, they're very similar sounds. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sixteenths.
16ths. 16. Yeah.
Sorry,
it's tough. Yeah. Okay. So this isn't live because I'm heading up to Queensland this weekend, which will be the 10th or something like that. Yeah.
Where are you going?
My sister is having like a gender reveal thing party.
What's that? A gender reveal party?
Yeah, you've never heard of a gender reveal?
No,
okay.
dude, let's talk about that.
Yeah, okay, so it's a thing that's becoming more popular these days. In fact, there's a YouTuber that I watch, and I would recommend anybody to check them out. They're an Australian couple, and they live on a boat. Their channel is called Sailing La Vagabond, and they're having a baby now as well. Probably due around a similar time to my sister's.
Okay.
But she did a gender reveal, and so it's just a way of like telling your friends what gender your baby is going to be.
Oh, okay.
Typically, people will do it before a baby shower or outside of a baby shower. Maybe they'll just record a video or something like that, or post a photo which kind of has gender-specific colours.
Kind of the blue and the pink to give it away.
Historically, that's how it's done. But those things are meaningless now. Did you know that historically, like pink and blue were kind of interchangeable? Maybe even the colours were reversed for genders.
As in pink was boy and blue was girl.
Yeah, that was
really.
Yeah. And
so?
Boys were dressed in little dresses, little baby boys. Yeah. No, it's
dressed in dresses, really.
Yeah.
Pink dresses, like tutus.
I don't know about the colours of the dresses. I've only seen like grayscale photos. But
okay.
Yeah, that was a thing when kids were really young.
Really? How long? Do you know how far back this goes?
Like early 1900s.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not too long ago.
I had no idea. And when you said gender reveal, I'm like, hang on. I just gender reveal, like, is it? Are they coming out as gay or?
Oh, okay.
Dude, that's what went through my head when you said that, and you're like, oh, we're having a gender reveal.
Gender reveal of the baby.
I get it.
Yeah. and that's an interesting point, because would you say it's a sex reveal?
Sex reveal. It's an orgy reveal.
But yeah, you know what I mean, because these days it's a common thought that gender is a fluid thing, right? And you actually there's a really good part from a TV show. I can't recall the show right now, but they said, like, is it a boy or is it a girl in this show? Like, someone's having a baby, and someone says, isn't it a little early to start imposing roles on the kid? Yeah. As in,
get out of that.
Forcing the kid to be a boy or a girl or whatever before it's even born. Yeah.
Is that's too much, isn't it? Do you think is that too much?
Well, yeah, in a way, yeah, because I think that's really, really tough, and I don't think a gender reveal party is offensive to anybody, like, because I think people develop themselves after they're born and they find out what they feel and whether they feel as though they are a man or a girl or a plant or whatever. Yeah, like
identify as a lamp.
Yeah. There's some really funny things. Yeah.
Turn me on.
Isn't there like 72 genders or some number?
I think it's up to 78.
Okay, yeah.
I could be wrong.
I'm not totally with it, and it doesn't bother me. I don't care.
No. You see, you got to be tiptoe around this subject, which is shit, because why do you have to tiptoe around this thing? This wasn't even a thing like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell people that they are or aren't something.
No, of course not. You can't do that.
No.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. I guess this thing is just like revealing the anatomy. So I guess the sex of the child, which is really no, that's really bizarre. Isn't
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, that's what I'm going up there for. Yeah.
Because like a gender reveal, such your sister's gender reveal.
Yeah.
And I thought literally when you said that, I was like, oh, is she coming out as a lesbian or something? That was just what went instantly, because that's why I was so excited. You know, I didn't know, you know, people, I feel like, you know, make it, you know, why do they have first birthdays, you know, for their kids? It's like for the adults to get drunk. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's what every year. It's like, because the kid doesn't even know he's having a birthday. Yeah. Or he, she, it's like, transgender, 1-year-old, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. You can't, just back on that thing beforehand, it's like, you can't, like a gender reveal party, if you want to have dude, if you're the pregnant woman and you want to throw a party for having cravings, bro, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
If you want to throw a party because a chocolate party, you know what I mean? If you want to throw a cigar party, like, do whatever you want, right?
You can have any party you like, yeah.
I feel like this, and this was like, I don't even think we were going to get deep, but we're getting deep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that like that person who or whatever is like, oh, isn't it a bit early to have a gender party? Like,
it started imposing roles. It was a comedy. It was
it was taking the piss.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
It might even be a comic strip. Yeah.
But I feel like that would be real as well, right? Someone would complain. Don't you think?
It may happen in the future, yeah. And I don't know what I think about that.
Well, if we're going based on genitals, there is a man and a woman, right?
As in male and female.
Okay, sorry, apologies. Male and female. And then there's like someone who has both, which is a hermaphrodite, right? Penis and a vagina. Sounds so like kiddie when you say penis and vagina. Dick and fanny. Sorry, pre-warning. Might swear.
Yeah. Maybe I'll edit in the little things.
Like a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like so you know that's two genders, but then that third are hermaphrodite, and that's even just popping in my head now. But then you got that whole LBGTIQ, right?
Yes.
But then now the LBGTIQ, and then they've added a couple more.
Q stands for queer, as in any other variant that isn't normal.
Yeah.
So that will be all the other genders.
Well, from what, that queer, like all the other, like that cis and his and and is, whatever.
Not even sure. Yeah.
See, I don't even know. It's just from what I've heard. Like, but they could go under queer. Is from my understanding of queer.
Yeah.
Right, and queer is your preferences. Yeah, you want to be a fan. You're a big industrial fan. I identify as that. You know what I mean? Does that go under queer because it's abnormal to, lesbian, bi? Because bi is like where you like both. Lesbian's obviously girl on girl.
Yeah.
G's gay.
Yep.
So dude on dude.
Transgender.
Transgender is, what's transgender? It's where you were born as a female, male or male. You want to change. Is that right?
Some people may have surgery to change, but they don't all have surgery to change.
So like a Bruce Jenner would be a transgender.
Yeah. And I probably actually had full-on surgery. Yeah, I'm guessing. Bruce, yeah. Caitlin, rather.
And then what's I? Is it IQ? Or am I making that one up? LBGTQ.
But I'm not sure about I. Yeah. No, I
don't know what I is.
Yeah, it's just such a complicated topic,
isn't it?
Yeah.
But what I guess what do you think? Think everyone should just be?
Should we have gender reveal parties?
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I think that's just what a mum wants to do, man.
Yeah.
There's always married couples who don't want to tell the gender. It's like, oh my God, I want to wait till we have birth. Whether you find out it's a boy or a girl. And then you find out, and then you get pink stuff, you get blue stuff, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
then happy days. But if you want to have a gender reveal party, it's like, because I'm sure your sister, you're about to find out on the weekend whether it is a male or female, a boy or a girl. It's a young kid, so a boy or a girl.
Yeah,
right?
I think it doesn't matter at that age. Yeah.
Not until you're able to make up your own mind. They say that the male brain grows at 25, is fully grown at 25. So anything before that, any decision before that, possibly, because we're adults at 18 in Australia. You can drive at 16 in America, and for the rest of the world, I'm not too sure, right? But like 18, you can legally drink here. 21 in America is where you can drink, and this is just what I know. But your brain is fully developed as a male at 25. I think it's a bit younger for women because they develop earlier.
Yeah, we develop opinions and we learn things about ourselves before we're fully developed. Yeah, and we would know our sexuality, I assume, by then, or how we identify by then.
As in by 25?
By 25, yeah, probably, I'm guessing, well before 25. Well, like, we hear stories of young, well, I know stories of young boys who always thought that they weren't like other boys. Yeah.
How old
like,
are you talking?
I'm talking like under 10 years old. Yeah.
But would you allow that kid, let's say you were the parent, put yourself in the parent's shoes, would you allow your 10-year-old, if he was a boy, hypothetical, to then want to change and dress like a girl at 10? Or not dress like a girl, but like really know. Like, do you think a 10-year-old, because I know about you when you were 10, I don't remember shit. Like, I remember glimpses of when I was 10. I chose to be a male and stay a male. Like, I never really chose anything. I just
right. It's just
continued to happen.
Yeah, and that's as you were treated as well, I guess. Yeah.
As I was treated.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to stop them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the consequences of them doing that? I think they wear dresses. Maybe they get teased and stuff. But
and that whole bullying thing at school, like, because we were talking in the last one how high school was so pivotal for you. Is that, are you sending a message, or like, is that do you know what I mean? Like, just as a parent, as a hypothetical parent, because I'm so far away from having kids and stuff, so, and I'm sure you might be as well, but like, as a 10-year-old, you'd allow them to...
Absolutely.
You wouldn't allow them to change, though, would you?
No, I don't know when that's permitted. I think it's understandable to wait until they are able
of age?
Yeah, of age.
18,
as in
maybe?
18. Yeah, legal age.
Yeah.
I don't know how to define that age, though. But, yes, young kids make decisions that they aren't certain of and maybe regret later. But I think letting a kid explore and find out whether it is true what they want to do.
That's more than fine.
Yeah. I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And anyone who does anything earlier, like, let's say a 10-year-old, like I was saying, man, at 10, I was playing, like I spoke on the other one, like playing out street cricket and doing, what
you weren't
are you
considering things such as how do I identify?
Yeah, I was like grade 4, or I think it was grade 4. You were 10 in grade 4, maybe 10 in grade 5. Is that right?
Maybe 5.
Yeah, right. I remember grade 5, like, vaguely. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine making a big decision in primary school.
No.
Primary school.
No, but like there are kids who know already.
That's true.
That, like, I think we develop an attraction towards people pretty early.
That's true.
We know what we like and don't like.
Because even at 10, I was probably when I jerked off for the first time. You know what I mean? And it was over women.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And that was probably, that's,
you knew then.
I guess that's when you know. But I mean, I wouldn't be rash and make a decision. I guess, but then again, I'm not in their shoes, so maybe it's just a void topic that.
And it's never set in stone anyway. Like, you can't. You're not forced to stay in that decision that you make when you're really young. Like a kid exploring doesn't have to stay in these things that they're exploring. They can change their mind at any time. I think anybody can. Yeah,
you're right. If you have that, if you want to be a girl, if you want to dress up as a girl, you're a boy, you want to dress up as a girl or do girly things at 10, that's cool. But then at 15 you might completely change. Do you know what I mean? You might change your whole mind and be like, no, I want to do this. I want to be a male again, or I want to, you know. And then at 20, you might completely change again and go back to that.
I think that's why there are more genders now, as in people refine how they feel. They really get into how they're feeling, and you can only truly understand this as your brain develops, as you learn more things about the world, right? As you understand how societies are built and how gender works. Yeah, a young kid may not know that, and in the past it would have been, are you straight or are you gay?
That's kind of how it was, yeah.
Like,
and gay, what I felt like gay meant back in the day was everything. That's what I thought queer was, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I always thought gay and queer were the same thing.
Yeah.
That's how, like, naive, maybe.
That's how the derogatory words were used, yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Queer guy.
If a gay dude was around, you'd call him queer. That's...
Yeah, and
for me, when I was growing up and stuff.
And it would have had these negative connotations. It would have been with a bit of judgment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, if it's your dad or something, you know, because, like, my parents grew up my dad grew up, you know, he's 30 years older than I am, so 56. And he was never, like, you know, untoward to anyone or bad to anyone, but he would say that shit. And back then, I guess it maybe wasn't as predominant to be sensitive topics back then. Like, it would have just been open for discussion. And gay, when growing up, queer and gay were the same thing. That's what I thought.
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, it's been redefined as something, as open, maybe just open, you know, open to anything. You know, you'll have mass orgies, or you know, I don't know, or you'll do a dude and then you'll do a woman.
Like fluidity rather.
Fluidity.
Yeah, as in it's not like this. It's more like maybe in between these things, or that this is how you identify, or as in maybe there are infinite ways to identify. Yeah, kind of like the color of a rainbow. And I think that's why the rainbow colours are normally used.
They took the rainbow from the leprechauns.
Yeah, because there's so many ways to say this is a colour, this is a colour, this is a colour.
Exactly right.
In the segments of a rainbow. Yeah,
exactly
right. I
right.
think that's the reason. Maybe someone can comment in this show.
Yeah, so also on that as well,
yep.
There's a new thing called Premiere, is that right?
YouTube Premieres, yep. So that's how we'll be showing this video, and we'll hopefully have told you about it before we share this one. So it will perform similarly to our live streams. You'll still be able to chat alongside, but the video won't be live. We'll be watching along with you as it premieres. So there will be a countdown and then it will start. And then, we will be watching along as you guys watch, and we can comment if you have any questions. So even though it's not live here, we will be sitting alongside
where everyone else is, where you are,
yeah, which is pretty cool. And this is how we're going to do it for the period when I'm actually overseas. I'll be away for 2 months.
Yeah.
And so we'll have some videos that we'll be able to premiere, and we'll sit in the comments and speak with you. Yeah.
I reckon that's a cool idea, isn't it? Like
it's a great function that they built in. It's like going to the movies or something. Yeah.
And having just like a little side comment.
You know how you sit in the cinema and you got your mate on your side or whatever, and you're like, I don't know, commenting about the movie as it's happening.
It's like, oh, what did he, dude? What does that mean?
Yeah.
When she went over there and then told him this, what is that? And you're in the, bro, do you know what the fuck?
Yeah. I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's a mad idea.
Well done, YouTube. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, true.
It should be good.
Definitely. And I guess we also I don't know, gender, like it's completely different, but in the same thing as kids don't know their gender, today is the Melbourne Cup.
Right.
And I feel like
you mentioned.
I was mentioning this before, how so they're racing, it's wet as hell outside.
Yeah, it's been raining all morning. So today is Melbourne Cup Day.
Today is Melbourne Cup Day.
Yeah.
And I was curious to get your thoughts, because I'm like, there's going to be like 24 horses there. They've been doing horse racing for 100 years, maybe.
Yeah, probably forever. Ever since we've domesticated horses from there. I don't know. I don't even know where they came from. I think originally they were from Siberia. Horses? Yeah. And then they were domesticated and brought around through the world.
Do you think...
Yeah.
That's what on another thing, that's why I always have trouble deciphering that. Have you ever watched a show with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Cosmos?
Yeah, I watched Cosmos. Beautiful series.
Dude,
So
great
good.
show.
Yeah.
Great show. I'm probably only a handful of episodes in, and then I got sidetracked on watching Lucifer. But great show. Unbelievable.
Everybody
show.
should watch Cosmos.
Yeah, man.
To learn about the universe.
Yeah, dude. I backed that show. And Neil deGrasse Tyson has that smooth voice.
Yeah, he's great.
He'll put you to sleep.
Yeah.
He'll read you a book. Yeah, like anything he says is a story.
Yeah, beautiful.
Is a story. So I remember watching, I think it was on the second episode, how it was wolves turning into dogs.
Right, an ancestor of wolves. Yeah.
Yeah. But I always have trouble, like, how did that happen? And I think I'm pretty sure he goes into how it happened, but I still don't understand it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Do you understand a bit more of that? Like how wolves turned into dogs, or they're an ancestor of the dog, but there's still wolves around.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're monkeys, but there's still monkeys around.
Well, we're not monkeys. We're great apes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So monkeys was a
Yeah,
generalization.
monkeys,
I didn't mean to generalize monkeys. If you're watching,
so the closest relative to relative to us is a chimpanzee or other great apes.
Apparently, we're
monkeys
97% chimp.
Yeah, we're very similar. Yeah, I think there's only very slight differences as far as our brains go.
Okay.
But the monkeys are reasonably closely related to us, but we are great apes. So we're not exactly monkeys. Yeah. So we've developed alongside these other animals. Yeah. And so because we diverged, as in maybe at one point we're all part of the same group.
Yep.
Then we got isolated from this group. Maybe they were stuck on an island, and when the rest of us walked across when the sea levels were lower or something like that.
Yeah, it's a different climate.
Yep, climate is a big thing, or just the natural environment around an animal will affect how it develops or how it evolves. So the evolution happens over time and based on the environment around the animal. So the primates that we have are almost sculpted by the environment around them. So humans, for example, we are long, lean, thin animals typically, and that was a result of us living in a climate for a long time wherein we had to walk long distances, and it was a big open landscape, and so we needed an efficient body that could walk.
So instead of obviously monkeys walking on their fists, or like chimps or apes or whatnot walking on their fists, we had to walk for long periods of time. So then we had to develop like standing up erect.
So the environment that we were in didn't have many large trees. Yeah, this is expected. Yeah, and so
this isn't an exact science.
It wasn't advantageous for us to be able to climb trees or to have a tail, for example, even though we have a remnant of a tail.
Well, our tailbone, right?
Yeah, it's a part of
Dude, I was telling you, I was talking about Shallow Hell the other day.
No.
With Jack Black, I think was I telling you about Shallow Hell, and Jason Alexander's in it. Remember, with the Seinfeld? Anyway, you got to check it out. I don't want to ruin it.
What happened?
Nah, spoiler alert. George Costanza, who is Jason, remember?
Oh, okay, I don't remember his name.
No, George Costanza on Seinfeld is Jason Alexander, and then he's in the movie Shallow Hell. Okay. And he's got a tail. He's got a little waggy tail. Yeah, and he's like, touch it to Jack Black. He's like, touch it. Just,
Well, actually, I think that is an anomaly that some people are born with tails.
That's what I was getting at. That's what I was going to get at, because that is apparently... That can happen, right?
Yeah. It's part of our DNA. So like most of the DNA that is in our bodies is not used or isn't activated when we develop. So
they don't need a tail, mate. Did they like lean back on their tails because that was
strong used enough to hold on to things.
Hold on to like trees.
Yeah, that's a primary use of many tails. But a kangaroo, sits on its tail.
Yeah, like leans back on their tail and stuff.
Yeah. But so the animal is sculpted by its environment, and so that might mean if a group of animals were isolated from another group when they were the same species, their different environment caused them to develop differently.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's with evolution, maybe it's a common misconception is that it's intelligent, as in it's in this environment, therefore it knows to adapt because it will be better to...
Well, by adapting.
Yeah.
Because as humans, we can adapt to
right,
a lot.
Yeah, with evolution, it doesn't perform that way. So evolution happens as in kind of, meaning the survival of the fittest, as in what adaptations cause this certain individual to survive better than another individual who doesn't have that adaptation. So if your tribe or your group moves into an environment where it's really hot and your body can't sweat very well,
okay,
you will overheat
and you will die.
Yeah, you will die. So that's a small thing. So some parts of this group have this ability to sweat and cool themselves down, they will survive, but the other part of the group won't.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very small change over a long period of time.
All right. So on that, back to the wolves thing. Yeah. So it's obviously they've been separated at some stage.
Separated from the rest of their species. Yeah.
And they've gone off to do wolves.
Yep. So they're relatively unadulterated, just natural.
And then they've moved on and they've developed into becoming dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, slowly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, obviously millions of years of time.
We do that with every other animal on Earth that we eat and consume, yeah. So cats, for example, aren't really reminiscent of old cats because we keep the ones which are kind-natured. The ones that aren't kind-natured, we don't keep. So if they are very hostile, we won't keep them.
Like a lion or a tiger.
Yeah.
Compared to like a little cat, how domestic...
Yeah, they're very
short
different. I don't
cat.
know how closely related they are actually. Yeah, not sure. Though they are similar.
They're called cats,
in the way
right?
they appear and they have whiskers and things. Yeah.
Yeah, big cats and they feel with their whiskers and they look the same.
They do look very similar. Yeah, it's a complicated one. Not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
with dogs, like, if we have a pet with us and it's really hostile, it's not going to be helpful for us to keep it. So we'll probably killed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the ones which were kind-natured, we raised them, and then they had kids, and if those kids were kind-natured, then we kept them, or if they were hostile, we killed them and then bred more. And so eventually you kind of filter out all these angry parts of their nature. And I can only assume that part of this is driven by their DNA or the environment that they're in. So maybe lessons that they were taught by their own parents. So the parents of a baby dog might have been taught them lessons which made them nicer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a bit of a mixture.
Because there's nice people, shit people.
Yeah, there's a bit of a mixture of nature and nurture.
Yeah.
So it's not entirely DNA, I don't think.
All right. So then on the horses, did they descend from anything else?
I've seen some drawings of another
like a bigger horse.
Yeah, it was large and it looked different. Their face was different, and I believe it was similar to a cow. I think a very long time ago it was cows and horses stemmed from this same animal, I believe. This could be very wrong. Yeah,
it's worth it. It like I feel like it relates.
Yeah. So
they're both on four legs. One's fat and gives us milk. The other one races.
Yeah,
and he's fit and he's strong.
So
the long face.
They've been bred for different purposes. I think everybody knows about like our breeding. We have different species, not species. They're just like different types of cats, breeds of cats, right? And breeds of dogs and breeds of birds even, and they've been artificially selected to have these different traits, these colors, these say muscles. So if you, for instance, with racehorses, people will pay heaps of money for the sperm of a certain stallion.
Yeah,
that was a really good racehorse,
like a Maccabi D-bar
because of its genes. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. So we know
that was planned.
Yeah. So we know that artificial selection works.
Okay.
And so horses are the way they are because we've wanted them to be that way.
We've bred them that way.
Them to be that way.
In over years and years of time.
Yeah.
So then, all right, that was cool, man. That was good to like learn like a little bit.
I'm probably very bad at explaining it. Yeah.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson Cosmos is probably the guy to go to.
So evolution isn't intelligent. In fact, it's a very dumb thing. Like it's per chance that there might be a variation in the way that something is developed.
Yep.
And if it's better for the environment, it's more likely that it will survive.
So do you reckon, this is going off track because I did want to talk about the horses, but I'm an off track kind of guy. Think outside the box. What was I going to say? With humans, right now. So we were apes, chimpanzees, segregated, no doubt.
We have a common ancestor,
a common ancestor. So in a couple of million years, what do you think? This is random, but what do you think that we'll turn into? Do you think we'll turn into like a superhuman or something that we don't even, like the Homo erectus? Do you even think that we'll know what Homo erectus was? Like we'll know what it was, but we'll be complete. We might have like a third arm coming out the forehead.
I think we'll engineer ourselves. With DNA editing. Yeah, I think we will build our own selves to maybe be able to breathe different gases.
Do you mean like in oxygen. Space or in underwater?
Not in space, but maybe a different simple gas that's found on other planets, but not ours. So not only oxygen, we might be able to breathe a different gas.
So like you see in those movies, there's a movie called Evolution where it was, who was it? David Duchovny. And a couple others, I can't remember, but a really good movie, like old school, so I think 2000. Mm-hmm. And it's a comet that hits the Earth, and then from the comet, little things grow off it, like multicelled organisms and stuff, and they spread, and they're doing it real quickly. It's like...
This Annihilation?
No, it's called Evolution.
Sounds similar. Yeah.
Oh, same thing, same sort of concept. Yeah, okay, it's a comedy, but it's I don't know how.
Oh, comedy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how based on science it is, but the comet hits the Earth, and then it's probably as big as this room, and then things are growing off it, and then they scoop up some gases and a couple of little bugs that are on the ground, and then the bugs split apart. The bugs split apart. And then they're saying in the movie that over millions of years of what we've been able to do, it's these aliens are doing it like this. Do you know what I mean? They're really quick. So then what happens is they can't breathe in our air because they're surrounded by the fog, so they can breathe in their own sort of environment, in their own fog. And then they scoop them up, they do some tests, and the movie goes on, and then some of them that split up. This is I'm probably having a full circle epiphany from what you've just been talking about, being segregated, because then some of them become flying animals, and then I don't know if they would be called animals or whatever, but let's use that as a term. Some become that they can fly, some ground. They look like dogs, but they're big and fat and alien looking. Some are like real, just like stallions, and like they're real like aggressive and stuff like this. All because you're right, like some of them were on the golf course, and then some of them were in a house, and you're right, different environments cause different things to happen, which is
only the ones with the adaptation, say, that would benefit in that environment, they're the ones that would have survived in a natural world. And that's the movie might be different, but
that's what I was going to get at too. So some of the flying ones, so they look over a field and they have thousands of dead ones, but then there's one alive one that spews up a baby, out of the mouth, spews up a bag, like a sack. The sack's on the ground, and then they're all dying because they can't breathe in our atmosphere. But then this sack one adapts and like learns to breathe our atmosphere. And because they're doing it like real quick, and it's a movie, it's an hour and a half. But because they're doing this, he opens the sack and then he can breathe our air, and then he's the first one of its kind to breathe the air in. So I guess that's...
Yeah, I think if we're going to give us 1 million years, humans 1 million years or something like that,
Yeah.
I don't know if that would happen it would take a very long time for us to develop that. We may not even be able to do that without editing our own DNA.
Okay, yeah, right. So if we were on that breathing thing, and you were saying, we might be able to breathe different gases and stuff.
I think it's a relatively simple change. Yeah, it might not be. Yeah.
Yeah, but probably over millions of years, maybe we might be able to, if we go to Mars, we might be able to breathe in Mars's atmosphere.
Yeah, there are organisms on Earth that breathe gases that are ejected from underground plumes, which are kind of like a volcano underground, which I think it's methane is the primary gas, which is released in these underground volcano things. And there are bugs and insects which can survive in these, I don't know if they're insects, but these organisms can survive in this really hot, gassy environment and breathe down there, but they're not breathing oxygen, they're breathing something else.
Yeah, true, because if we were to go into that volcano, volcanic ash,
they're underwater even.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Well, we wouldn't be able to breathe.
So we can't. Yeah.
You're right, and then and as basic as it is, there's fish who can breathe underwater, right? And sharks and whales and all that stuff. But then they come onto land and they can't breathe and they'll die. And then we go underwater, we can't do the same thing. So they were bred underwater, we were bred in the air. Then it's like full circle.
Yeah, it'd be very hard for us to adapt to live underwater again.
To get gills and
that'd be a big change, massive change.
To going back, because that's
some animals have done it. I believe dolphins are an example.
Well, they're true. Yeah. True, they can do both.
Yeah. There is.
But is that?
Well, no, I think they just breathe air.
I was going to say, and they hold their breath underwater, right? Yeah.
So. There's other examples that I can't recall, but like salamanders, I think.
Salamanders. Yeah, what's a salamander?
It's like a watery lizard, a wet lizard.
Okay, yeah.
Or an axolotl. Did you see
what?
Axolotl?
No, what's that?
They're like alien-looking thing with fingers, almost like it has fingers and it walks.
Oh, really?
Like a lizard as well. But if
with all the webbing in the fingers.
Yeah. It's like and it's kind of like a gecko. The way they look. Yeah. And they can adapt quite quickly, and they can breathe above water and below water.
Really?
Yeah. But I think it might be similar to a dolphin. But they're an animal which lives in a very wet environment. Yeah,
if you live in like a swamp environment, you probably like a frog as well.
Yeah,
maybe
kind of frog-like.
Like you wouldn't be and you might have both. Yeah, like living in that wetlands. If we were to go to the tropics maybe and then have kids, then maybe they could breathe underwater after a very long period of time. What do you reckon? Does that just make no sense?
It would take a massive change. I don't know how that would work. Because breathing underwater is very different to breathing above water. We're getting a gas, and we do that by forcing our atmosphere into our lungs, which are like capillaries. They've got these very fine little filters, and they can isolate the oxygen from, say, nitrogen and the other gases in our atmosphere, and then we expel the carbon dioxide after we've consumed it. But to isolate oxygen from water, as in separate hydrogen from oxygen, these two hydrogen particles from a single oxygen particle, very, very difficult, because they force water through similar things to our lungs. They're these very fine filtration systems, but they constantly flow water past these gills.
Okay.
And that's how they isolate oxygen. But we have no means of doing that. We would have to have another organ which would let us flow.
Which was probably the appendix, right?
I don't think it's the appendix. No.
But wasn't that when we were fish? Is that right?
Appendix has a purpose. I can't remember.
But not now.
It still has a purpose. I believe that, or it's theorized that it contains certain bacteria.
Okay.
Which helps maintain our autoimmune system.
Well, I've got mine out. Like mine was going to burst.
Yeah. It can be dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 20, it was going to burst, and then I ran to the hospital. Like the doctors put a tiny little pressure. It's like, bro, your appendix is about to burst.
Yeah.
Probably didn't call me bro, but it got me in the room, and literally they took it out. I got a couple of scars on my stomach now.
Yeah.
But like now that, so if it has a purpose, like, because from what I hear, it doesn't have a purpose.
Well, there's been recent studies, and I don't want to scare you, but people who have had their appendix removed are more likely to get certain diseases.
Bring it on. Bring it the fuck on.
Likely because of what was contained inside the appendix. And I think it's certain bacteria which maybe when we get really sick, our appendix fed that bacteria to, I don't know, our gut.
Okay.
And then that helped maintain a healthy gut, say, ratio of healthy bacteria versus invasive bacteria.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's potentially, these are very
vague answers. Yeah.
So that may be the purpose of the appendix, but
we're no doctors or scientists here on Chats with Corey and Kurtis.
So there has been a potential correlation found between people with removed appendixes and, say, higher instances of certain diseases.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, if you kept your appendix, it would have caused internal bleeding or something.
Exactly, it would have been worse for me to burst, and would have been death. That's what happens when your appendix bursts, right? You can die.
So we are already playing God. Humans are already playing God in what we do. Yeah, we're already saving ourselves. Like, I would have died.
Well, that's another adaptation, right? That's another. Do you think? Would that be?
Know. I consider it. It's kind of natural. We are of nature.
Yeah.
And when we don't exist by some, I don't think, from some intervention. So anything that we make, these chairs that we make, microphones, the drugs that we make, or the surgical procedures, like, in some manner they're natural, as in they're of the world, but they're not found in nature.
Because we're mixing a lot to get, in pharmaceutical companies, mixing everything together, trying to get new drugs to cure this and cure that. You're right, we are. We are playing God.
Yeah. It's it's difficult. Yeah, hard to define that.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so back to horses.
Full circle around back to horses.
Yeah, horses. I think you mentioned earlier that they're not aware that they're racing or something like that.
Yeah, that's my opinion on it. I'm like, the horse. People are like, oh, dude, you're gonna bet on the horses today. You're gonna bet on this and this. On the carp, you're gonna bet. I'm just like. See, I'm not a big gambler to begin with. Previously in the past, I've gambled on it. But the whole thing, I'm like, the horses don't even know what they're doing. The horses don't even know they're racing.
Like, they're responding to instructions.
They're getting whipped.
I'm not sure if they still use spurs. I think on the boots of the jockey, like,
to kick them and like
pull their gut. Squeeze their gut.
I'm not too sure about that, but there's like a little thing on the end of the whip, right? Like it's not just like a straight whip. It's like there's a little like padding or something to whip their ass.
Yeah, like a leather tail thing.
To get them going. Yeah, and I'm curious to get your opinion, because I just think like I've never been one to be super ethical like that, but I'm just curious. They don't even know that they're racing. So, like, what do you feel about that?
Well, as we've been speaking with, like, the domestication of wolves,
to bring all that
ancestors, I consider modern horses to be the same. So, from a perspective of a vegan, you would say that they're an unnatural thing, as in everything about them we've caused to happen.
About horses?
Yeah, so their very existence in their current form is unnatural. So I disagree with that.
With racing them and shit?
With breeding them, yeah.
Or with breeding horses in general?
Yeah. And so I don't think that we should race them, of course, because even though we've created them, they still have feelings, they're still very intelligent. And I consider it, not just to force them to bend to our will. Particularly with racehorses, they often have a lot of injuries, and an injury for a racehorse generally means death. Virtually always. Broken leg, ankle.
So you can't race, so we'll take you out the back like Old Yeller.
Not advantageous. They're a product. They're like a race car. If the race car blows an engine or damage to its chassis, you build a new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're considered similarly to that. They're just a tool mechanism, and so I don't think that's fair. Not on something which is very intelligent, responds to pain.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're forcing it to do things.
To race.
They're often fed a lot of drugs in order to perform in a certain way. I can't recall which horse it was. Not Maccabi Diva. No, it's a horse that's passed now, but
Far lap.
it could have been Far Lap. It was found to have a heart twice the size of a normal horse's heart.
Oh, really?
And that's a result of selective breeding. So it had heart problems because of
maybe it loved too much.
but because of the choices that a human had given it. So humans had forced this animal to have a defect, as in it had heart problems. It had a heart attack and died because of these things that it just been forced to have by being selectively bred. Yeah. Racehorses, what do we call it? Artificially inseminated.
Yeah, that's when you put on the glove and like.
Yeah, you'll
put the fake vagina. And
yeah, I'm not sure how they collect the semen. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
I think they have. Yeah, it's a fake vagina. It's like a fake horse vagina. It's a real for real. It's like a sack.
Yeah.
And you put it on. So they'll jump up onto another horse, right?
Yeah.
And then before it can obviously, put its massive horse dick in, you grab it. No, not me, but they grab it and they just put in like a fake sack, and then at the end it's like got this little bag, and it's like a jar. And yeah, they obviously hump the sack, and then they come into the jar, and then. Yeah, I like it. That's how they get.
So, would you consider that rape?
I haven't even thought about that. Rape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to bang. No, I don't know. Because is it? Well,
does he consent to it?
No, of course not.
So, is it rape?
I guess that's. The humans have raped him.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. So
I didn't even. I haven't thought about that, but that's.
It's very difficult to determine consent from an animal.
But yeah, and animals having a sex with another animal, would it have been rape to the other horse as well? Do you reckon?
If you force them to be in the same room, most likely, yeah. If you put a stallion in the same, say, paddock as mares, and that's artificial selection. You're forcing them to be next to each other, and that they're going to mate. Because of that,
they're going to mate no matter what.
Yeah. It's the common instinct of a stallion just to mate with many horses.
Yeah, he's a polygamist.
Yeah,
I love him.
I don't know how their societies work, but yeah.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, like you're forcing it to. I wouldn't want to have sex with a fake vagina. Have you heard about this new fake vagina thing? And
like with horses or
no, sorry, but on humans. Like, they've got like the like dolls now that are becoming more life sized and
Not that I've researched it, I've just come across it.
yeah, you're sitting there. No, not at all. But yeah, I've come same. I've come across the horses getting. Sorry, fucking hell. It's midday, folks. I don't know why I can't talk. Yeah, so these dolls and I don't know. I wouldn't want to have sex with an artificial human being.
But we can consent to that, and we can say we do want that. And
there's people out there that would do that. Doesn't feel comfortable for me to want to do it.
No.
But again, if you want to, but then again, because the robot consent, if it's is it a robot or is it a doll?
A robot
so you're raping the doll.
Effectively, a doll. I don't think it's rape because there's no consciousness there.
That's true.
Once there's consciousness, that's when.
Then it's when it can give consent and rape and stuff.
Yeah, which I don't know when that will happen, but.
Because do you reckon
will happen?
They can give robots consciousness?
Sometime.
How would they be able to do that? Do you reckon?
With a very intelligent robot, not one that will be developed soon. I don't think.
Probably in our lifetime.
But in our lifetime, I expect that's my projection is. This is a wild hypothesis, but I expect we'll be able to transfer a human consciousness into a machine,
like a cyborg.
Kind of, but more like we could upload ourselves to a form of the internet or a network. Yeah.
Would you be up for that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You'd be up
I
for
think
that?
that's the way that we will be able to live forever.
Would you want to live forever?
Yeah.
You want to live forever?
Yeah. Why die?
I guess because I don't know, but that seems the norm. That seems natural.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, if you look like everyone else, I don't know. Maybe you die so then you can bring other people into the world. Do you know what I mean?
If we're becoming a machine, as in a piece of software, we're very small and we don't need to die to save space on the Earth. I guess or do you mean just to progress the world?
Well, maybe to progress to like we were saying, you know, we turn from chimps to humans, in a sense, and then we turn from humans to superhumans. But let's say the next thing is a superhuman. I don't know what it would be, how we would look, but let's say, you know, like The Rock. You know what I mean? Like we're let's just say that's the next evolution. Are we hindering ourselves becoming robots, or are we, you know what I mean?
I think other humans will still exist.
So you don't. So only a handful of people will be robots.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah. I think there will always be real physical body humans. Have you seen Altered Carbon on Netflix?
Is it a movie?
Series on Netflix.
Series. I haven't seen the. I haven't. I've like seen the little cutout, but I haven't seen the actual show.
So the basic plot for the series is that the human consciousness has been uploaded to this internet thing, and we build bodies, as in just effectively slave or kind of like robots, but they're actually physical humans bred in
like the Terminator.
Sacks. Kind of like the Terminator, yeah, more human though.
Okay.
Yeah. So actual humans without consciousness, and then we implant these little pieces of technology in the nervous system of these slave things.
Okay.
And then we live our lives throughout these things. Yeah.
With that,
I don't know what you call them. They're not people, but they're like dumb
robots.
Robots.
They'd be robots.
Yeah. Robots with flesh and blood, and yeah.
Okay. With that, and let's say everyone did come that, everyone did live forever. It'd only be let's say that happens in the next 20 years, right? And it becomes affordable for everyone, and everyone does it. Is that stopping the growth of natural? Do you know what I mean? If you're a robot,
it's unnatural.
It's very unnatural. Like, you're not going to have, like, maybe you can have robot sex, but can robot conscious have a baby? Do you know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
And then, like, so is it just these 7 billion people that are in the world right now, stay the same 7 billion people? Like, I don't know about, like, I enjoy my sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I feel like getting older is a good progression. I mean, I enjoy, from learning from when I was a kid to now 26, man, I've grown and I've learnt. Like, the internet is fantastic. It's great if it's used in a positive way. But, is it like if I become 26 in robot and then I decide to become a robot and I just stay as 26-year-old robot Corey forever, in eternity?
You'll keep on growing, I think. You'll become more intelligent if you want to. You'll just keep on developing. You won't stop, ever. Yeah, if your consciousness still exists, it'll just keep on going. But
you'd still, like, I'd stay as like a 26-year-old Corey. Like, I'd never get old. I wouldn't look any different. In 1,000 years, I wouldn't look any different.
You have lots of these bodies. If you're talking about the Altered Carbon version.
Yeah, just as like a...
Okay, yeah. Just physically, you could appear the same, but mentally, you would just keep on developing.
So you could be, 10,000 years old. But look the same and just be super duper smart.
Yeah, that's what I expect. A lot of other people are projecting it to happen around 2050.
Yeah, okay.
That's only 30 years away.
That's true, but then flying cars are meant to happen already.
Flying cars won't happen.
Sorry about the ting that keeps going off. That's my phone. I should have turned on silent. Apologies. Love you all.
Yeah, flying cars won't happen unless there's some massive thing that breaks the laws of physics. Yeah, because of air. So noisy. Like anything that must move through the air will make a lot of noise, unless it's very aerodynamic. But then it can't hover because of the sheer amount of air that it must move. Like a lot of noise is generated from engines turning. Yeah. So flying cars won't happen, but I think it's because there were just some, I don't know, kind of like a projection from the past, as in like how we imagine the future now. I project that we'll live in computers, but that may not ever happen. Yeah.
So in the virtual reality,
flying cars were predicted way back in the early 1900s. There was drawings of them. Yeah. Yeah. But now we know that so much energy is required to like hover a vehicle.
You got those little skateboard things that can hover. Well, not a skateboard thing, but like you're on that machine.
Yeah, they are...
It's like a water hover thing, though, isn't it?
So that's a super-cooled conductor. I can't recall the specific name, but so it's something that's very cold. It changes the magnetic field of this magnet. So it points in one direction instead of having two poles, so north and south pole or opposing poles. Yeah. It changes the shape of the gravitational field around this magnet, and so it can levitate effectively while it's cold, very very cold.
All right.
Yeah. So but that it must live on a track.
Okay, so you can't just do whatever you want.
No, you can't put it over Earth. For example. The composition of the things which are below it it can't repel that. So we would have to find out some very fundamental change in the laws of physics, or probably some quantum thing we might work out. I don't know. But yeah, currently there's no way that we could just levitate without having a track below this flying car.
Okay. So back on the cyborg aspect of this, and you said you would do it.
Yeah.
What's the thought process for you personally? Why would you do it? Because for me, I probably wouldn't do it.
Okay, yeah, I think I will do it because the only health problems that you will end up having are mental health problems.
Do you think mental health problems will become super predominant?
I think they'll be able to be resolved pretty easily. Most of our mental health problems, or a lot of them, are caused by, say, chemical imbalances in our brains. Yeah. But we can also resolve a lot of them with therapy. So I've been learning about cognitive behavioral therapy, so CBT, which is one method used by psychologists to help people work around their mental health issues. And then the alternative is drugs. So if we don't have a brain which is organic, we don't need drugs to maintain the balance of
so we won't need drugs.
Yeah,
that's probably a good one, because
what we will develop are very advanced methods for controlling our mental stability, I expect.
And so
can't be for certain though.
For sure. So you would do it. Do it.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah. Because then you can create this little robot that can go out and do your bidding. Like it can see the world, but you can still exist in a computer somewhere. These are very hypothetical things.
Yeah, for sure. But it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying. How long have we been going for?
We're going for about an hour.
About an hour?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap it up like this. So you would, let's say you become this cyborg.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. This is a fun
good
one.
Topic. Yeah.
This whole podcast, I've had fun. You become this cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
How long is it until we start having gender problems with it? Do you reckon? What would your gender be?
What would it be?
What would your gender be?
What would you be attracted to? Yeah, I don't know. You'll still have a lot of human. You would be human in a computer form. So I guess it'd be the same, but you might experiment more.
Yeah, with dogs, robot dogs, and
I guess, but probably not actual dogs. Yeah, that's something I don't understand, like bestiality and certain kinks. I don't get that. I just don't possess that. Yeah, I think it's a mental condition.
A lot of kinks. not in bestiality, but like a lot of kinks of who like girls who like, you know, like daddy issues and stuff like that, or not that that's even an issue. I like that shit. But you know, people who like there's rape fantasies and there's so many kinks, but it's from what happened to you when you're a child.
A lot of the time, that's the reason. Yeah,
you grow up to like that daddy issue thing is because you had a, you know what I mean,
or you weren't treated well when you were young.
Exactly, or
maybe you didn't have a father.
Exactly, or you're right. Yeah. Or your parent, you know, you had one experience that you saw your dad do, and then you're into that, or you know, you see your mum do something, and you know, it becomes you're into it, or you have like a fat fetish, or you know, that's not harsh to say that. I feel like people find that harsh.
They do, but yeah,
that's what it's called, fat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's. Oh man, fat shaming.
That's another topic.
Yeah, maybe we can delve into that in another day.
Keen to dive into that at some other point. Yeah. But yeah, you have a fat fetish because maybe your dad was fat, and your mum was fat. Like you know, it really all happens because when you're a kid and you have a certain experience that makes you like these certain things. So I don't understand the bestiality thing, but maybe you love your dog. I never get that one.
There are things that people are predisposed to liking.
Yeah.
Like male-female preferences or...
Female preferences, male preferences, yeah.
Also, pedophilia is another predisposition.
It is.
I think that's how you would
continue
classify
on
bestiality as well.
If it's happened before,
or not if it's happened. No, you can be a pedophile, I think, without
being touched up as a kid.
Yeah. So it's just the way you are. Same as someone who is straight from birth.
Same.
It's just the way they are.
And then, but we consider different things wrong, which obviously a pedophile is wrong.
And that comes down to consent.
That's
you're right. That's also, well, apart from it being weird, I think that's how we say like bestiality is wrong as well. There's no way an animal can convey the message to you that I'm down for this.
You got a horse looking back at you.
Like
okay, I'm into this.
Like that's just not possible with what we know now, and I don't think it's moral either. That's not moral. I can agree. I'm not a fan of that. It's so weird.
It's a weird one.
Sorry, people.
Sorry, people.
Yeah.
I feel like this one we got into some different topics.
Yeah, all over the place.
But I kind of like that all over the place. Kind of.
I think that's how our conversations will be in the future.
Yeah.
And that's why we've chosen this name, Chats with Corey and Kurtis. Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's not like one topic. You know, it's not just skateboards. It's not just samurai swords. It's not skateboards and samurai swords.
I don't have another example.
No, either. But it's not just one in particular thing. So and I like these. I like how we just kick off into one subject and then. I don't know, it's because where my mind goes when we're having a conversation, it's just all over the place. Yeah. And I like to go all over the place. It's fun because you know a lot about a lot and I know a little about a little. So, and then a little bit that you might not know, I know.
Yeah, we know about different areas.
Yeah. So,
I think it's good.
Yeah, man, and a lot more music to come.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
We'd like to delve into that a little bit more.
Yeah, we were saying on the last one. We'll do some more freestyles and all that sort of crazy stuff.
We'll get some music set up properly in the future.
Yeah.
You see. All right. Reckon that'll be enough.
That's it. Also, just wanted to plug again. We the other day, our good friend Dylan Butler. Maybe just plug that again.
Yeah. Get some subs. Yeah.
Get some subs.com.au.
That's right. Free delivery in the Metro Melbourne area.
Yep. Same day.
Yep. Same day. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah, that's all. So,
all right, sweet, very much, guys. We will see you in the next one, which will be, like it won't be live. It'll be live in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. So this one we'll see you, but we'll see you in the comments
section.
So
this will be a premiere.
Yeah, and then the week after that we'll be back to being live.
Yeah.
And
sweet.
Happy days.
Cheers. All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you in the next.